Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a good Sunday wherever we are around the world. Hopefully, everyone is having a good Sunday, apart from the frigging football, because Liverpool, of course, have just been beaten, by Manchester City by 2-1. It should have been three. Again, we'll get in and we'll discuss about why it wasn't three a bit later on, but. More importantly, Liverpool lose again for the first time against Manchester City. Of course, they beat us back in COVID times, but again, I don't think anybody really remembers that. It's the first time for a good while that they've beat us at Anfield in front of a crowd, and look, it's a disappointing one. It's a a kick to the gut, really. Especially after Dom Szoboszlai belter of a free kick, and again, it was very similar to Arsenal, possibly even better than the one against Arsenal. But yeah, it's just a really gutting feeling. At the moment, I don't know about you guys around it. For me, very gutted around the performance after the goal as well. And again, that just completely writes our story this season. That last 10 minutes is very much Liverpool of this season. Not good enough, pathetic, passive, just again, all round shocking. And look, I'm not going to sit here and go, and completely lose my head over it, but there is no belief in this team anymore, and there's not. And I am really worried that Liverpool do not get Champions League football now next season by the Premier League. Again, yes, Liverpool can still get Champions League football if they go on to win the Champions League. But again, that's a very, very, very difficult thing to ask this Liverpool team at the minute. But, looking at Chelsea, looking at Manchester United, even teams below us at the minute, Brentford, like if it wasn't for that goal getting disallowed, we would have been below Brentford on goal difference. And look, Liverpool this season, there's a shock that we end, around 10th or 11th this season for how poor we have been. And look, it's the same story, isn't it, chat? And look, let me know your guys' thoughts, of course, down below. Again, if you're new around here, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well, if you are new around here. And look, it is a frustrating situation around it, because again, Liverpool I should be here tonight now talking to you guys about how Liverpool won that game from that amazing free kick, and we looked absolutely brilliant in the second half. First half, yeah, sure, I think anybody could admit, look, Liverpool looked poor in that first half. City completely dominated the game, and they did. They absolutely destroyed Liverpool in that first half. But second half, Liverpool come out firing. They come out, again, aggressive, pressing high. And again, it was a really good performance until we scored. We go on to score. And then once again, that's happened so many times this season. We just think, oh, we're just going to step off. We're going to step off. We're going to take our foot off the gas, and we're going to be passive. We're not going to press as high. We're not going to be aggressive. We're going to, try and absorb a lot of pressure against Manchester City. And we did that, and there was no turning back from it. Because once City got that goal, they smelt blood, because Liverpool couldn't turn it around. Liverpool couldn't go back to being attackive. They couldn't go and become, pressing again like we was. So just bang my friggin' elbow. We couldn't, press again. We couldn't. It was simple as that. Liverpool could not press, and we could not get as high as what we did before the goal. And that is down to tactical. That's down to slot. The players as well, all of them, absolutely shocking. And look, I don't know about you guys. I'm fuming around the situation that we find ourselves in. Like, this team that on paper is good enough to be in the top four. It's good enough. But again, you have to show it. You have to fight for it. And at the minute, we're not doing that. Plain and simple. But big up Zane as well, saying no belief under Arne Slot that Liverpool will make the Champions League next season. Absolutely agree with you, mate. Here says that free kick deserved to be a winner. We looked like the effort up to the 80th minute mark. Yeah, no, absolutely. Big up to Gary as well, saying Talia Albin, sack Slot ASAP, no Champions League next season, get Alonso in now. Again, look, Arne Slot will be staying as Liverpool manager. There's no changing that. We already know this. He will be Liverpool manager next season. But the problem we can do with that is Liverpool leave themselves in such a shit position at the minute. That again, we're not only talking about, I'm not talking about just, Chelsea and Manchester United. I'm talking about Brentford even overtaking us. Again, yesterday, Brentford had a good performance against, as I'm moving my phone, a good performance against Newcastle yesterday, and they rightfully deserved that win last night at St James's Park. And look, for Liverpool, it's such a fucking, excuse my language, chat, because I'm fuming over the game, but it's such an annoying position at the moment that we find ourselves in. And we've allowed ourselves to be in this position. Again, you can lose against Manchester City. Again, Manchester City are a very good team. They're a team that are fighting for a league title again with Arsenal. Again, I think if City win now, next time, they're only 3 points behind Arsenal. So again, they are fighting. They're fighting at the top of the Premier League. But Liverpool should have won that game tonight. Again, we completely fell apart yet again. Again, I'm trying to get the league table up so you guys can see it and so I can see it as well. But yeah, I'm looking at the league table now. There we go. You guys can see it now on screen, hopefully. There we go. If I quickly make that's not the right button, Connor. That's also me. There we go. That's the right button. So there you go. So Arsenal, obviously top of the minute. But look at Liverpool. Look where we are. 39 points. Liverpool currently on. Brentford as well. Everton, the Ever 2 points behind us. The Ev are 2 points behind us. Like, it's laughable, isn't it, at that stage? And again, we got a very tough game now against Sunderland midweek. Yes, I fear Liverpool won't get Champions League. Was it 4 points behind Chelsea now? 5 points behind Manchester United. Yeah, it's a very long ask for Liverpool to come back from, because again, it's all right. United will lose games, Chelsea will lose games, but Liverpool at the minute will lose even more games at the present moment in time, and that's what I'm mainly worried about more than anything else, is that Liverpool will lose more games and will just dire down. And that's the problem. That's the big problem for Liverpool at the minute, is the fact that we cannot win games of football when the going gets tough. And that is it's terrible. I've said it before, Con. We lack steel. I'll pick up Ollie as well, saying Case, McManaman, Souness, Gerrard, and now, like the midfield, I think first half, midfield battle, we lost completely. And I think we did lose it massively. I thought O'Reilly and Rodri and Bernardo Silva, that midfield three battered Wirtz. Well, Wirtz wasn't necessarily in that conversation, but I think Gravenberch and McAllister, they were miles off of it. I think Maka is done. And I was just talking with one of my friends, Scalzi, about McAllister. Hello, Ryan, as well. I can see you lurking in the chat. But no, I was just talking to Scalzi now about how, for me, right now, McAllister's drop-off is much more dire and severe than what Fabinho's was back, 3 years ago, where Fab's legs just went. And I think Maka is the same, but worse. And I do think it is a bit worse. Look, Maka last season, or over the last 2 years, 3 years, he's played an unbelievable amount of football for Brighton, Argentina, and Liverpool, and he has done. But now I think it's definitely caught up to him, and you're starting to see it again. He has no what's the right word, physicality anymore. And again, he got bullied in that first half. Gravenberch the same. Gravenberch got bullied a few times by O'Reilly in that first half in particular. Again, second half, I think they did better. I think they did a lot more in terms of the groundwork. But they got bullied in that first half, and they got bullied again once we conceded, once we scored, sorry, and then we decided to sit back. If you're going to do that, and if I agreed with bringing on Curtis Jones, I think Curtis Jones coming on made a lot of sense because again, Curtis Jones, number one, can cover ground, but also is very good on the ball. So if you need somebody to pass it out, then for me, look, he's the perfect guy for that. Why are we changing? Why are we changing Curtis Jones for Cody Gakpo? Why aren't we bringing on Rio Ngamoa? Why aren't we bringing Federico Chiesa on? With with more time on the pitch. Why on earth are we waiting until we concede the second goal to then bring on Federico Chiesa, and that's the only sub we make? And I was just saying this just now. Did Dominic Szoboszlai have a very good game? Yes, I think he had an okay game. But realistically, I want to be seeing Dom Szoboszlai in midfield. I don't want to be seeing him at right back. At the minute, we have no right backs at the moment. We, again, Connor Bradley's out, Jeremy Frimpong's out. But yet again, we've got a right back sat on the bench and Calvin Ramsey. Play him. Give him the opportunity. Give it, again, Arne Slot speaking about him. And look, he doesn't rate him, and we know he doesn't rate him. But in my honest opinion, play him. Play your best player in his best position. Don't be playing him at right back. Let him influence the game. Let him be in his best position. Let him play alongside Ryan Gravenberch. Play the midfield three of Szoboszlai, Wirtz, and Gravenberch. Have that as your best midfield three and not have him a right back. Or better yet, just should have bought one in January, but we didn't. We thought no, we're not going to go and spend money in January, even though we bloody need it, again, and having so many people say the same thing. It's the right thing to say. Liverpool needed to sign somebody in January. And we didn't go on to do it, and it's gonna cost us. It will cost us Champions League football, with no doubt about that. Anyway, but Gary says, disgraceful con. Sunderland will beat Liverpool probably at this point. Hello Ryan as well. Never felt more like Jesus Christ. Look, right, it goes to show how shite we are if we're next to yous. So pipe down. I knew you would swear that. Like, I don't care tonight. I really don't, Ollie. Honestly, my head's gone tonight. Rio must be pissed. He can't. Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, Rio should be given more opportunities. Chiesa should be given more opportunities. We can talk about that until forever, realistically. But still, and talking about, I'll talk a little about City because look, at the end of the day, they got the 3 points. Like I said, it's the first time they've won at Anfield for years? Again, I know obviously I'm not going to include COVID times because COVID times is, nobody remembers that. No, rephrase that, Ryan. You've been good away from home. You've been shite at the Hill Dickinson. Rephrase that. But no, don't just blame it on your awful season. Yeah. Away from home. Sure, I could give you that because I think what are you third or fourth in the away table? But yeah, you're shared the Hill Dickinson. Sorry. Slot has failed this team con. I also think it's a bit of the team. I'm not going to fully put it down on Slot because. Look, there's a few individual performances again. Look, tonight, if we're just going to go from the kickoff till about the 80th minute, well, until we scored that goal, again, there was a few players tonight that I thought, look, like I said, we got, what should we talk about them? Again, McAllister, Gravenberch, Wirtz as well. I've been very positive on Florian Wirtz. There's a few chances tonight where he could have taken it and Liverpool would have won that game. Hugo Ekitike as well. Mohamed Salah. That's not glaze over the fact that Mo Salah had multiple opportunities to score for Liverpool tonight and failed because he is miles off of it. And he looks it. He looks physically drained from, just the season, and just the way Liverpool are at the moment. And, I'm going to say by ear, for me, even before the goal went in, I thought Kirkes had a really good game. I thought Virgil was good to keep Haaland quiet for so long. But it's another frustrating situation, isn't it? Where, you know, how we could have been so different. And look, it should have been so different tonight. I should be talking to you guys now, speaking about Liverpool winning that game, keeping Haaland quiet the entire second half, City not really having, a go at Liverpool, and we're going to be, challenging and topping up for top four and top, and possibly, like I said to you guys, even challenging for top three at the minute, because, again, Villa keep dropping points at the minute. But again, we're not talking about that. Again, the Newcastle game, we thought it was different. It's very similar to what happened earlier on in the season. Again, we beat Aston Villa at home, we beat Real Madrid in the Champions League, and we think, right, Liverpool can go on a run, play Manchester City, it all goes downhill again. And it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. We beat Newcastle midweek, and we think, last weekend, sorry, and we think, look, we could be back. Liverpool could, start now. If we beat Man City, that's then the start of Liverpool getting the run to the Champions League. And, when we talk about, again, the run from March till the end of the season, or, the end of February till the end of the season, that's the big point then. And at the minute, I have no confidence in the Liverpool team. The mentality of the team is down the rabbit hole. It's so bad. Our mentality is shocking, and it's sad to see. It's sad to see where we've gone in the space of 12 months. Like 12 months ago, Liverpool were the best team in the planet, and now you look at us and go, where on earth do we go from here? Because I've said to you guys, I don't see where Liverpool finish Champions League this season. I don't. And the whole gamble that United and Chelsea have taken about how they've, changed their manager and they look like they're going to get Champions League. Virgil van Dijk spoke about it, how crucial Champions League football is. He wants to play Champions League football for Liverpool. He wants to be playing at the high level. Again, Wirtz will be wanting it. Ekitike will be wanting it. New signings will be wanting it. Like, realistically, Liverpool need another squad refresh, really. Look, realistically, if we're going to go through Liverpool's main 11 at the moment, what are we saying? Mo's most likely going to leave at the end of the season. Cody needs replacing because he's not good enough. Midfield, like I said, McAllister needs either, again, a fresh summer completely, or Liverpool need to go and buy another midfielder at least. We need a proper number 6 where we're not going to be talking about Ryan Gravenberch, again, being dominated in the midfield. Yes, Ryan Gravenberch is good at times, but throughout this season, I think he's been exposed quite a lot. And again, that's probably around how the midfield has been this season. But I think, again, Liverpool need a proper number 6, and we don't have that. We haven't had that since Fabinho, and it's something we've lacked for quite some time, in my honest opinion. But what else do we have? Con, do you think Curtis should have been right back so we could have no, play Calvin Ramsey, Ollie. Play Calvin Ramsey. Play the right back we have at the football club, and let Dom into the midfield. Again, I don't want to be seeing Curtis a right back. I don't want to be seeing Dom at right back. Sure, you can put Dom there if you need him for 10 minutes there. But realistically, we don't want to be seeing him there week in, week out. I want to be seeing him in the midfield, alongside Grav, alongside Wirtz. Because I still say it, this season, our best midfield is Grav. It's either Curtis Jones or Dom Szoboszlai and Wirtz. That's our best midfield 3. And yet again, we're having to watch McAllister keep his place because there's nobody else there available. Or Slot just doesn't want to put Curtis Jones there. Big up Gerson as well, saying, how long should we continue with Slot? He clearly is not the one to take the club forward. He should be sacked with immediate effect. Look, I think a lot of people are Slot out at the minute. I'm not going to lie. I thought a lot of people would. I thought there would have been a bit of, a few boos after the game, but in an overall sense, he will be the Liverpool manager by next season because the club back him. Wonderful horse shoe as well. Hopefully doing well. You can't blame Slot for this result. You got beat. That's it. You can, in some sense, because yet again, the whole tactic side of it and the whole purpose of us not being as aggressive as we was after we scored, and that comes down to him. It's not just him. I would agree with that, and I would 100% agree with it with that. It's not just Arne Slot, it's the players as well. The mentality of the team is gone. It's been gone for a while, for this season. But it's a double duty then, really, of both the manager and the players, and both of them are not working together at the minute. Because again, we had City on the ropes even before the goal. We had City on the ropes. We looked by far the better team. City wasn't creating anything. Liverpool were going 100 miles an hour at them to get the goal. And when we finally then did get the goal, we just decided to go, no, we're just going to sit back. We're not going to go forward. And, you can't blame anyone else but that than the manager and the players. And again, who do you blame more? That's another conversation around there. But for me, you have to have a go at both of them. You can't just completely have a go on a slot. You have to go with the players as well. And that's for me what we need to do in some sense, because people need to take accountability of their performances. Look, I think Milos Kerkez had a phenomenal game again, and he keeps on building about it. But we won't talk about that because again, we talk about the result, we talk about what happened and what went wrong. But again, there's still some positives out of today. Kerkez, I thought, had a really good game. Dom, I thought second half was really good. Obviously now it's not so good because of the red card and so on as well. But look, the top four now is a huge climb for Liverpool. And do we end up doing it? It's a multiple thing, isn't it? And it is frustrating. All round, let's be honest, it is all round. But look, for me, I've just seen a Slot quote as well. Hang on a minute. What's he just said? Here we go. Arne Slot angry at the referee. He says, "I can live with the fact that the referee follows the rule book as Dom makes a foul on Holland. That's a red card. I think the Sunderland manager is really happy he gives a red card. If you follow the rule book, you have to have a shirt pull from Gahey on Salah, who from 8 years is scoring that goal every single time. Of course, should Mark Gahey have been sent off? That's another question for another day. I think Mark Gahey gets very lucky, but also I do think it's a bit of a clutch at it, really. But look, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway down in the comments. I'm really frustrated about us losing. Sorry, I could have just seen freaking another result on my phone. But look, for me, I'm gutted around it, if I'm being totally honest. But I agree it should be Ramsey, but if Slot doesn't rate him, Curtis, well, now it will have to be Curtis if not. But as of right now, I don't know. Anyway, but look, I am going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Big thank you for everyone for tuning in to tonight's show. Again, apologies, it isn't a longer one. We'll probably be back tomorrow. We'll talk probably a bit more about the game. Get your guys get more perspective on it. Again, if there's any news, we will be live for it. I.e. if something happens. But yeah, it is a really, really frustrating time at the minute. Because again, looking at our results and looking at the fixtures we got coming up as well. Sunderland now midweek. Sunderland midweek. Brighton then in the FA Cup. But then Forest away, West Ham, Wolves. You'd think Liverpool would win them games, but Tottenham at home, Brighton away then in the league. Fulham play the Ev, and then that goes into April. But then that really opens up our towards the end of the season. We've got Palace at home, United away, Chelsea at home, Villa away, and Brentford at home. That's a horrid last couple of games of the season. It's going to be really eye-opening for Liverpool. Anyway, but look, If you are watching on the repeat anyway, then do let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Of course, I'll reply back to all of you guys down in the comments, because I know there are a few people that do watch it on the replay as well. So hopefully you guys have a good rest of your weekends anyway, if you are enjoying it. Of course, it is Super Bowl night as well. Obviously, if anyone else watches American football, let me know who you guys think will win, the Seahawks or the Patriots. I think Seahawks wins, my opinion, but still, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway. And yeah, let me know man of the matches down in the comments if you do have any, or if you're also like me, just frustrated and pissed off at the results. Either way, but look, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your night. I've been Connor from the Cock Council. We'll see you guys later on. Ta-ra.